Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Oh, Chargers. Rough couple of weeks, guys. Fix your offensive line. That will help a lot. Anyway, so on topic. Sorry. I'm a pretty big NFL fan, too. The Chargers are my favorite team. You've probably seen me mention them in videos before. Still, searching for that first championship since the NFL merger, which will be coming up on 60 years, I believe. Super Bowl 60, maybe. Anyway, yeah, I haven't been alive that long, but almost that long, and no championships. Not yet, anyway. Um, they got the right quarterback, though, so that's cool. We'll see if we can get it to come together, the rest of it to come together. Right now, it's the offensive line that's the problem. Anyway, yes, Kiwi Ears. Sorry, it was a tough couple of losses last couple of weeks, so I'm slow to recover from those because I'm a lifelong fan. We'll get it right. On topic, Kiwi Ears Astral coming at you today in all of its glory. This is a set that was loaned to me by my buddy Svorzabel. So thank you to him for providing this set for review, as he's done many times in the past. So the cable is my go-to IVIPQ 7N cable, silver-plated copper, that I use for a lot of the nicer sets for testing. Anything that's got a 2-pin .78 connection on it, which this does. Really nice little faceplate there. Kind of similar to ZGAT in some ways, I think. But yeah, so we've seen it before, but it's nicely done, and it's Kiwi Ears. I would say, before we get into the unbox specs and all of that stuff, I don't know about you guys, but I've got a little bit of Kiwi Ears fatigue happening at the moment. And it's the sheer number of sets that they have released in the past 2 years, like basically since I started the channel, has been impossible to keep up with. Like, if I wanted to make this a Kiwi Ears and ZGAT only channel, I might have been able to successfully do that this year. Maybe not in 2024 as much, but definitely in 2025. The Fast and Furious on those releases, guys, maybe a little too much. UV flashlight, that will come in handy for the SR5 review coming up later in the week. Just wanted to see what would happen there, but nothing too interesting. The build on these is nice. It is 3D printed resin. The shape is ergonomic. No like physical fatigue from wearing them for extended periods. And nozzle reasonable length. Tiny little bit of pressure buildup, but nothing I can't handle. So I think anybody except for the most sensitive people to that will be okay with these. And as you can see, Divinous Velvet Normal Bore is the tip of choice, as is most of the time for me. So there you go. Unboxing, we've got a very petite, compact, efficient box. The IEMs, of course, sat here. Underneath, you got the case. Very nice cable, which is actually finally modular. Thank you for doing that, guys. I could have actually used this cable for testing and measurement. Kind of forgot about that. So this is a nice move by them after so many of their releases just being available in 3.5. Very happy to report, there's some extra filters there should you need those. Very happy to report that they have included a modular cable with this one. Kind of bare bones ear tips, but they're nice. Most people in this price range, which I think is about $270, are going to be utilizing their ear tips of choice. So I like that they didn't sort of really, waste a whole bunch of ear tips nobody was going to use anyway on this in this packaging. Whatever you can do to keep the price reasonable. Not that $270 is reasonable, but it's reasonable-ish as long as the sound quality is there. So, yeah, unboxing. Just fine. Just fine. Now, yeah, oh, and here's the Kiwi Ears case. There's nothing different about this. It's pretty much the same. It does have a slightly nicer feel to it than the older cases, which are more of sort of that like ballistic fiber kind of feel. This feels more like leather, a little more premium, if that matters to you. Fully pocketable case, holds the IEMs and cable without issue, although not really any room in there for a dongle DAC. Unless you got one of those like little J. Cali ones or something like that, then that'll go in there, obviously. On the specs, it's a single 10mm bioceramic dynamic driver. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to sonic compressions, because that is definitely something special. Agree with Mike on that. 6 custom balanced armatures, so 2 for mids, 2 for highs, and 2 for ultra high frequencies. That is per side, so it's a 1x6. Impedance 23 ohms, sensitivity 105 decibels, and frequency response of 10 hertz to 22 kilohertz. And when I bring up the graph, I will check that 10 to 200 range, because it looks pretty formidable, one would say. Yeah, it's got some rumble for sure. Everything's in line for a really good set here, guys. I mean, it's not an inexpensive price point. It's getting into that mid-fi territory, and when you get into that territory, you expect things to be really good. Like really good. Like, not kidding, really good. So, alright, on to the graph and sonic impressions. Wow, that was quick. That was quicker than normal for me. Here's the graph. It's the channel matching is so good you probably can't even see the difference between the two, but when you get above, let's say 6K or so, you can see this. There's a slight channel imbalance. Who knows if that's even accurate, because it's the IEC711 coupler, which is notorious for not being super accurate above 8K frequencies, but still pretty, I would say, pretty good on the channel matching all the way up to that point. There's a really, really pretty massive amount of sub bass. It is the highest decibel on the SPL, about 92 and a half, where that peaks out, and then on your ear gain, the second highest peak is at 90 and 1/2. So there's about a 2 decibel boost. I think they call it a 6 or 7 decibel sub bass boost in their marketing and literature. It is there. It is there for sure. This, when I graphed this, yeah, I did my usual stuff with this. I did some of my test tracks. I did a metal album. Fear Inoculum is one of my go-tos because it has a lot of like fun stuff to listen for sonically. My initial impression was this was going to be a really good set for metal, and after listening to more metal and heavier metal, that was not the case, but we'll get into why. Mids are clean, somewhat cool, a little bit clinical, but definitely clear and accurate. The ear gain is moderate, mild to moderate, not without energy, but not a ton, which will make some people happy. There's no shout in this guy, in this set. I don't know if they're guys or girls. Anyway, I like the treble extension on this a lot. I feel like it opens up some space and definitely gives you some sparkle and some air. Like it's pretty amazing in the mid to upper treble frequency response wise. Like you're not gonna miss out. Like treble heads are gonna like it. Air heads probably gonna like it. Sparkle heads, whatever the heck heads you are, if you like treble, you're gonna like it. And it's not obnoxious, it's not fatiguing, it's not sharp. I think it's very, very well done. Not tremendous peaks and valleys. Maybe call that a kind of a high peak up at 15K, but for me, it did like give the soundstage a nice immersion, a nice immersive feel to it. So it's got a pretty big soundstage, I think. Pretty high, pretty wide, and somewhat deep because of that sub bass going on. So it's got the rumble, hits you in the chest. I guess I think the reason it didn't hit for me as a metal set necessarily was because it does fall off a bit in the mid bass, a bit early, I should say, in the mid bass, and so kick drums, bass guitars, like just didn't quite have the impact that I'm looking for, but definitely had the detail. I mean, the detail is pretty astounding. Like if you listen to Tool and you listen to I should know all of their names by heart, but the bass player, there's a lot of texture to his bass and the way he plays it, and that comes through with Flying Colors. Like this is a great set for Tool. It's not the Hype 4, it's maybe Hype 4 light, little less mid bass than the Hype 4, a little less overall detail, and sort of I think the Hype 4 is just a touch warmer and more musical than this set is, but I'll tell you what it is good at, and it is a no joke for hip hop. Like I was listening to Kid Cudi and Metro Boomin and Future, and I just couldn't stop listening to the album that I was listening to. I was like, damn, that hits. What was the other one? Was it Queen Mary, that track? Shoot. If I can remember it, I will, but Sforzable actually recommended a track to test the sub bass on, and that kind of... See, because up until yesterday, I was like a little lukewarm on this set because it wasn't playing my favorite genre of music or the heavier part of that genre real well. When he turned me onto this track, and I was like, oh, now I get it. And then I started listening to hip hop instead, and I was like, oh, now I know what this is good at. So hip hop, EDM, pop music, rock to an extent, not hard rock, not heavy metal, but more melodic metal. Bands like Tesseract and Tool are going to play very well on it. Not so much Hypermass, not so much Bleed From Within, not so much Nicolas Cage Fighter. Thanks for the rec on that. They're fun. So yeah, not a metal set. That's what it comes down to. And that's okay, because not every set needs to be a metal set, right? Didn't I say the same thing kind of about the Hype 4? I mean, I loved, like, it's my favorite set ever for Tool, which is, like, my favorite band ever, Radiohead being a close second. Just getting, a set that plays that in such an amazing way was kind of, it was a revelation to me. This set, I would say, in the metal genres, melodic metal, it's going to do okay. Like, its Tesseract sounded so good. Except War of Being, there is, sorry, TD, buddy, you're right about that. There's something fucked up with that recording, the mixing and mastering on that recording. Like, the more I listen to it, like, the less I like it. The more sort of fuzzy, not super resolving, not super clear, not very, kind of flat, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they did just do like a re-release of that, like the tour mix release or something, but didn't fucking fix it. It still doesn't sound good. Earlier Tesseract, Polaris, Altered State, that stuff, that sounds great. So anyway, short story long. So yeah, I'm gonna go. A lot of genres will work with this. It's got enough detail and clarity, certainly, to handle jazz and classical music without too much of an issue. I liked how Coltrane played. I liked how Anna Netrebko sounded. Melody Gardot, also jazz singer. So it's got nice vocal clarity to it. I don't think it's super weighty for male vocals, but they're accurate. Maybe just a touch off, shade notch down on power for male vocals, but certainly no issue with clarity. So yeah, I mean, you look at the graph, you're kind of getting the picture. It's a clean, clear, detailed set that has an incredible, absolutely stunning sub bass to it, and the rest of it is going to work for most genres. It's just not going to work very well for metal. But that's why this is a standout to me for hip hop and EDM, because it does have that nice, big, immersive soundstage, and it has that massive, rumbly sub bass. It's like star of the show for this set, no doubt, no doubt. So it's going to get a recommend. It's not going to get a highly recommend, and that highly recommended because it's not. Other than the sub bass, which I think, like, if you're looking for, if that's like your apogee, if that's your, like, whatever, your mecca, whatever, your holy land, your holy grail, like, if that is it, then you might want to grab this set, because it's really freaking good on the sub bass. But for the rest of it, I think there's some sets out there that kind of outcompete it, and they're less expensive, So one of them coming up very shortly, the Soundrhyme SR5, really impressive for the price point. Of course, it helps that I got it for 101 shipped, but all right. Other comps, yeah, it's gonna, like, things like the what was it? Not the Defiant, the 1x6, that Canera Celeste, the Relentless. Yeah, this kind of buries the Relentless in a lot of ways. Of course, the Relentless is $100 less, so it should. But I wouldn't say it's super far off from that tuning. It just does it better. It's a higher quality sound. The BAs are better. One thing I will mention, sometimes the metallic nature, especially in the mid to high treble of BAs, some BAs and some tunings on some sets kind of bothers me. I will say that this just barely, it didn't bother me. It felt like at times it was going to, especially when I was listening to metal. But when I was listening to tracks that were more in its wheelhouse, it was pretty good. So it's not totally unnatural up top, just has a little bit of that shimmer. But other than that, really well done. So yeah, recommended set. Again, there are too many Kiwi Ears sets out there right now for me to even keep track of. The septet certainly is interesting. That might be one that I go after at some point. But for right now, I think I'm taking a little break from Kiwi Ears. I mean, we'll put it this way: I could have bought an open box Orchestra Lite for half price, for like 125 on eBay, and I was like, no, not doing it. Part of that is because I know the pressure buildup is going to kill me, but the other part of it is I'm just fatigued. There have been too many releases. I understand it's competitive. I understand everybody's fighting for every dollar, but damn, guys, you're almost cannibalizing yourselves at this point. Just put the brakes on a little bit, okay? Let us enjoy what you got out there for a bit. All right, that's just my advice to Kiwi Ears, which I guess is owned by Linsole, so in turn, my advice to Linsole. I think that's going to do it for today, folks. For now, be careful, be safe, make a really big effort to be nice. I love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. We'll see you in a few days.